It's always been in, you've covered me a long time, you know. That's how people react. And, but...
mindful, but do you think you earned a direct apology to come forward so far?
Oh, well, look, the fact of the matter is, I made it clear that if I made anyone feel comfortable, I feel badly about that. That was never my intention, ever.
But there's some women who want to hear directly, I am sorry. Are you sorry for the way you handled it?
I'm sorry I didn't understand more. I'm not sorry for any of my intentions. I'm not sorry for anything that I have ever done. I've never been disrespectful intentionally to a man or a woman. That's not the reputation I had since I was in high school, for God's sake.
Mr. Vice President, you've always said you're not changing your brand, you're not wearing any funny hats. Is this whole episode of the past week, is this going to change how you campaign?
Well, I think it's going to have to change somewhat how I campaign. It's just like, the new thing is selfies. Everybody wonders why I take the selfie, so they don't put it on Instagram. So it's not put on. I mean, if I had the camera, at least I make sure it's a photo and I'm not doing something else, because you have to wonder, what anything's being used for. And so it's all changed, and it's changing with you guys. Come on, each of you are aware of it in your personal relationships. It changes, and it's not a bad thing. It's a new thing. It's important, and I'm sure it's going to take a while for it to settle out. But it's settled out for me.
When will you be entering the 2020 race?
I'm told by the lawyers that I've got to be careful what I say so that I don't start a clock ticking and change my status. But I am very close to making a decision to stand before you all relatively soon. I think
within weeks, days, weeks.
What's the holdup?
What's the holdup? Putting everything together, man. Putting everything together. Even if I knew for certain that I was going to run for president back in Thanksgiving, my intention from the beginning is, if I were to run, to be the last person to announce. So if everybody else their day, then I get a shot, and then we off to the races.
Did the lack of a formal operation this week make your response trickier?
No. Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Herman Cain is qualified to be on the Federal Reserve.
I would pick someone else.
Mr. Vice President, you said 2 weeks ago that you were the most progressive person in the Democratic Party. There's a lot of candidates in this race
No,
who
I said
disagree
liberal. I didn't say progressive. Did I say progressive? Well, here's the point. That's changing too. For my whole career, I wish I had been labeled in Delaware the 7 times I ran as a moderate. I was never labeled as a moderate. If you look at my record with the ACLU, you look at my record with all of the traditional liberal organizations, I have never walked away from. I'm not sure when everybody else came out and said they're for gay marriage. I'm not sure when everyone else came out and talked about a lot of the things I've talked about. But my point is, it's the definition of progressive now seems to be changing. It is, are you a socialist? Well, that's a real progressive. Or you believe in, whatever. I mean, so I was talking about, up until this last time around, the traditional judgments of whether or not you were, quote, a liberal, was whether or not, what your positions on race were, on women, what your position on LGBT community, what your positions on civil liberties. I'll stack my record on those things against anybody who's ever run, who is running now, or who will run.
But sir, are you suggesting that the party is moving too far to the left?
No,
can you win in a primary?
Look, well, we'll find out whether I can win in the primary.
Right, thanks, everyone.
But let me say one last thing. Here's the deal. I think you guys, if you look at all the polling data and look at the actual results, the party has not moved to the way, I don't want to characterize it, whatever characterization you just made. The fact of the matter is, the vast majority of the members of the Democratic Party are still basically liberal to moderate Democrats in the traditional sense. And if you look at those, I went into 65, 66, 67 races on the ground. I campaigned, I think, for virtually every one of the 41 people who won. Show me the really left wingers who beat a Republican. A Republican. So the idea the Democratic Party has sort of stood on its head, I don't get. And by the way, we should welcome. The party should welcome this, what I don't know how you want to characterize it, the progressive left. It should be welcome. We should have a debate about these things. That's not a bad thing. But the idea, all of a sudden, the Democratic Party woke up and you know, everybody asked, you know, what kind of Democrat? I'm an Obama-Biden Democrat, man. And I'm proud of it.
What do you think 20,
Okay, thank you.
are running? Why so many?